beautiful people. Welcome to today's episode of our lady series. Hope your week was good. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're fine. Today we'll be talking about standing out, daring to be different, and some other important things within those lines. And in our midst today, we have Miss Miracle Austin, who's going to be taking us through that ride. You're welcome, Ma.
Thank you.
Yeah, so get ready to learn, relearn, unlearn something as we progress in our conversation. Let's dive right into what we have for the day. So we always hear this standing out thing, daring to be different and everything. We have heard it. It's not the first time you're hearing it. So, Matthew, what do you really think standing out is?
Me, standing out means to be you. In the 21st century, it's really difficult to be yourself because everyone, the society, your parents, your peers, everyone has already unconsciously placed certain expectations on you. So they're expecting you to act in a particular manner. So most times we feel pressured to dance their tune. That is, we feel pressured to fit into the expectations they have set for us. So in those cases, standing out is really difficult. So for me, standing out is you being the real you being yourself without not minding whatever any other person is going to think, say, act, or do.
Okay, I actually wanted to ask you next if you think standing out today is hard, but I think you've already thrown a little bit of light on that with your previous comment. Still boiling down to the same question I wanted to ask earlier on. You standing out, because I definitely know you stood out. I'm not trying to flatter you, but you're someone that has actually stood out to me as a person. So, in your process of striving to stand out, striving to be unique, being different, did you encounter any hurdles along the way? Can you share some experiences you had?
Okay, yeah, of course, it's normal for me on your journey to being you, because actually being you, like being yourself, is actually a journey. It's not something you arrive at any day. It's
Yeah.
a continuous process. On your journey to being you, you would always encounter critics. Yeah, you always encounter people that would ask you, why are you doing this thing like this? Who do you think you are? You think you're better than all of us? Blah 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 blah. Okay, so you said okay, let me share a few. I'll just take
Okay.
one because of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just take one experience, one of my experience. Okay, I can remember back then in secondary school. I think then I was in SS2, and the vice principal, vice principal for not academic but for administrative student affairs. Yes,
Mm.
she she wrongly um expelled one of our students. So all of us we got angry. Then in SS2 we all got angry, and then we are just
You
trying to,
protested.
yeah, we were trying to see how we could make them change that. So we were trying to see how we could make them change that decision. Like I remember me, what I did was, I think I went to the principal's office. I went to Hamilton's office that day. Like I was so angry. I was like, what is it? What are they doing? What are they trying to do? Because it was as though that they were against us, not against what the guy did, or just as though they were against our set side. So because of that, because I stood out in trying to see how I could make things right, I can remember only the next day the vice principal saw me and she said insulting me. She was like, this short thing. Whatever, I can't remember the thing. Yeah, it got to me. It got me, but then it's part of the things you experience when you're trying to fight for your right. It's part of the things you experience when you're trying to stand out, when you're trying to support the voiceless people.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Personally, also, like, standing out hasn't been an easy ride, but by God's grace, He makes all things easy. It hasn't been easy, like, from trying to stand out in your manner of approach to the things of this world, down to dressing, down to
That's true.
different things, down even
Yeah.
down to your lifestyle. Like, standing out
Mm-hmm.
today is so difficult. Sometimes this flesh, the flesh can be sometimes like, you should understand what I'm trying to say. The flesh is
Yeah.
somehow
Yeah.
sometimes, and you're like, let me just for one. Temptations are there, oh, like temptations
As
come.
in from places you don't even expect.
Exactly, my dear, exactly. Like temptations just come, and sometimes we fall, knowingly or unknowingly we fall. But that's why God's grace and mercy is there to always draw us back to Himself. There are people that actually stood out in the Bible. People like Esther. Esther actually stood out, and I feel like
Yeah.
as ladies, if there's anyone we should emulate from the scriptures, it should definitely be Esther because she stood out. David, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they also stood out. Jesus Christ also
Yeah.
stood out, and actually, he's our model. So if there's anybody, both genders inclusive, if there's anybody we should actually look up to model and pattern our lives accordingly, it should be Christ. So, still bringing it down to our struggles and everything, what what helped you to like overcome? Because we can't really overcome all these struggles, but we can actually say we are making progress, you know? So, what are the things
Okay.
you were able to do that helped you to overcome that feeling of you not feeling accepted, or you feeling like you just,
Okay.
yeah.
For me, for me, what helps me overcome it, I in situations like that. That's the situations when I try to stand out and then look as if I'm being criticized, or it looks like I'm being criticized, and maybe at that moment my self-esteem drops. For me, what helps me stand out is I pause and try to remind myself what what made me do it at first, and
Yeah.
I remind myself why I'm doing it, and it keeps me going. The truth is that the people that actually criticize you, or the people that actually criticize your actions, are not the people that need whatever you're doing. They're not the people that need the advice you're giving. They're not the people that need the services you're providing. No, the people that actually need these things will never criticize you. They would always support you.
Mm.
The
And I
people
really,
that need
okay.
something. Very well, you're about saying something.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that an association also plays kind of like a vital role in all of this because
Yeah,
your association actually defines where you stand to an extent.
yeah, that's true. It's very important because life is just so funny. Like the devil has this amazing way of bringing you in. He has this amazing way of putting you in situations that are just so tight. And if you don't have good friends that can advise you and tell you not to do some of these things, you just fall into them. That's why your association is very important. Very, very important. Having the right people in your life at the right moment. Very important. If not, you can't live life alone. You cannot, no matter how or how perfect you think you are, you cannot live life alone. You need the help and support of real good friends that you do.
Mm, that's true. And I was scrolling through in Instagram. I think that was yesterday, or like I know I was
Okay?
scrolling through Instagram, and
Okay?
because I follow people within the faith, like pastors, their wives, philanthropists, activists, I came across a pastor's wife page, and while going through her page and like looking at some of her captions, I was like, wow, this woman is blessed. And I really feel like if that woman didn't associate herself with maybe the right set of people, she wouldn't have stood out. And you can actually see that beauty
Mm,
of uniqueness radiating
yeah.
through her. And I'm like, God, this is what you call beauty. There's so much beauty in
Mm,
standing out. And actually, when you stand out, people actually notice.
yeah. True.
Some people might want to
Yes.
criticize your efforts and say, oh, you're not among. Mostly, well,
Yeah.
we are in university and we are different because we are called out. And there are people who haven't come to the knowledge of Christ and they see you, and to you, they think you're suffering by not doing the things they are doing, which they think is enjoyment. But
Mm,
you, knowing who you are in Christ, you know that, yeah, this is the highest level of enjoyment. If you know what I know, you would count yourself lucky.
yeah.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing few words of wisdom, because I know you have a storehouse of wisdom. So thanks for sharing these few words of wisdom with us, and I have learned a lot. Like from these few minutes, I've learned a lot on standing out, and I've actually had a stronger drive to stand out and be unique. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yes.
too. It
And
was a
lastly,
pleasure being here.
okay. And lastly, before I leave, I think I'm just going to drop a quote I came across. The quote says, "No one is you, and that's your power. There's
Mm,
power in uniqueness. There's so much power in uniqueness." So I think that's all we'll have today. It's a wrap. Bye for now.